to the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
And today we're joined by Alexandra Pedro, freelance marketer, and we're talking about marketing for film festivals. Welcome, Alexandra.
Hi, thank you for having me, Esther and Melanie.
You're very welcome. So, film festivals. Okay, we've talked about marketing on this podcast. Obviously, it's called the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. But why specifically film festivals?
Well, I've always loved art and I've loved books and films for as long as I can remember. So when a film festival reached out and wanted to collaborate with me, I was very happy to do it. And from then on, I've just been working with film festivals a lot. So when you wanted to know what topic I wanted to talk about, I guess film festivals was on the top of my mind because it's what
Brilliant.
I like doing the most.
Brilliant.
You know, one of the things that we've discovered, certainly since we've been in business and on the podcast, is when you niche down, it actually makes your life a lot easier. Mm-hmm. And you get known for doing one thing really, really well, which is sadly something myself and Esther haven't done.
No. I like the variety. The variety. I don't think I could just go to one single thing. You know, like unless it's Cannes Film Festival. Are we talking Cannes Film Festival?
No, I'm not at that level yet. It's more independent film festivals. But I definitely agree that if you niche down to, let's say, film festivals, the same milestones happen in every cycle of the film festival. So you get used to writing the notification emails, the call for entry, social media posts, and you just do the same things over and over again, just with different brands and with different messages. So that's useful. That makes it easier. But I'm on the same boat as you. I'm niched down into arts and culture, even though film festivals is the big bulk, because I like the variety as well.
So now you've niched down, because it's so niche, is it difficult to isolate and engage your audience?
Well, film festivals, we have a lot of speaking to filmmakers. So, and it's especially, I'm in independent film festivals and we speak mostly to independent filmmakers. So I do see the same names over and over again. It's a smaller audience for sure. Yeah, but it's different even from my various film festivals. We have different audiences for each film festival. So I'm not quite sure if I understand the question, but I still feel like the audience is broad enough that it's still interesting to do the job and the messaging can still be diverse.
Yeah, no, I think because you said it was even interesting that you have niched down within niching down.
Yeah.
So that it's not like, do you go with one specific genre of film festivals, or is it inside the film festival? Are there lots of different genres of movies? Is it, one language? Do you have to send out your publications or your tweets or your posts in different languages to attract the different people? Like what all would be involved even just in that one sector?
There are we have the independent film festivals and we have the big film festivals that are supported by all sorts of organizations and even the government. So I mostly work with independent film festivals. I then work with independent filmmakers and independent screenwriters as well. So that's a niche within the niche. But in terms of genre, I work with film festivals from all sorts of genres. There's comedy, there's horror, there is themed film festivals like the Courage Film Festival that's just about films about courage, stories of courage, and then the Film Art Festival that is just about films about arts and artists. So I still talk about all sorts of themes, even just within film festivals, because each film festival will have its own theme or its own gender. But I'm not niched into just one kind.
So an independent film festival is more than likely recommended you or comes across some work you've done before. How do you onboard them? What kind of questions do you ask them to bring them into your as a customer?
The first step that I do is just taking a look at their online presence, where they are, what they are doing online, where they are receiving their submissions, the different platforms that they are using, to see if I am familiar with them, or if I need to become familiar with them. And then I have a call with them just to make sure that what I've seen is accurate, and see if I didn't miss anything, and ask them what they need from me, what they are looking for, and based on that, based on their pain points, and I will suggest what we can do together. And it usually goes in one of two ways. One of them is more the setup and optimization, the branding, the strategy, so making sure that we are ready to move forward. And then the other is the ongoing actions of getting their social media up to date, updating their website with new information about each film festival or each edition of the film festival, and just sending emails as well, writing and sending the emails to the filmmakers. So yeah, there are those two areas that we can work on, and it depends on where the festival is.
So you say there about where the festival is. Obviously over the last couple of years, COVID sort of took away all our liberties and freedoms, and we couldn't really go to a physical film festival. So how did that have to, hate this word, pivot at that time?
Well, my film festivals, the film festivals that I work with, they just remained in person. They were very adamant to not go online. And there are a few film festivals like that that just decided to wait until it was possible. And that was a big challenge for the whole organization and marketing as well, because you were always receiving emails and messages and comments asking when is it going to happen,
Yeah.
because people didn't know. Were very lost, and we were lost as well, because it was from one week to the other. You thought you could have the film festival running the next week, but then the rules changed and you had to wait another month. So it was very challenging, and there were film festivals like that that just took it day by day, week by week. But then there were also the ones that pivoted, and I listened to a podcast by you, an episode about webinars and the challenge of just moving everything online. And there were a lot of film festivals that just moved online. The film
Bonus
festivals,
points for listening to us.
the film festivals that I work with decided to remain in person because they are very small screenings, and they wanted to still have that sense of community for the filmmakers. They wanted the filmmakers to go to a live audience to see their film on the screen in person. So that's why they decided not to go digitally. Though I have nothing against digital film festivals.
But like you say, it must have been a real struggle to sort of be keeping up with the news and keeping up with the regional and local and national, and being able to tell people, yes, it's definitely on tomorrow, or, it's definitely not on tomorrow,
Yeah.
It must be so, like you say, getting all those emails from the different people and going, is it on? Is it on? And they're so, everybody's wanting to help and contribute and go and watch these independent films.
Yeah.
To them be not allowed to, it must have been heartbreaking, and it's even especially for the people who've made the films.
Yeah, the filmmakers then not being able to attend the festival as well. Like, even if the festival, if we managed to have it on, because the flights may not be coming, then from that specific country they were not able to attend. So there were still some filmmakers just couldn't attend their screening even though they wanted to.
I suppose, like lots of other businesses, it was horribly affected by the fact that people couldn't be in person anymore. Or was it one of those special niches that actually benefited from having an online presence for their festivals? I'd love to hear your feedback on that.
For me, from my experience specifically, I don't think it has benefited the film festivals that I work for. Also because the filmmakers have less means since the pandemic started, because everything just stopped there for a moment while the film festivals maybe were adapting and less films were being made. Less people seemed to be buying their films, so they had less money as well to invest in submitting to film festivals, the paid film festivals. So for us, we just saw a decline in submissions and a decline in people that came to attend, obviously, because the in-person screenings were in person. So for us specifically, I there weren't many positives from the pandemic, unfortunately, and it's still we are still seeing the consequences now. Obviously, more more problems have have arrived since then. So it's not just the pandemic now, but we're still seeing a slow submission era compared to pre-pandemic.
Yeah. And well, do you think that because the people that you work with, the festivals that you work with, had that online presence of sending out the emails and of the marketing that they were doing, that it helped to keep them afloat for afterwards? Because I'm sure there were some that just completely went,
Yeah,
well, we'll see you when we can, and
I saw
closed
that.
doors.
I saw that in like seeing other film festivals that I don't work with. I've seen that as well. That many film festivals just disappeared, just didn't update anyone. The film festivals that I work with still received a lot of complaints about us not communicating enough. But yeah, I think that the fact that we kept updating social media like monthly or as much as we had news to share, because at some point you're just repeating yourself over and over again because there's nothing new to say, and sending the emails for the filmmakers, I think that that helped us stay afloat. And I think now we don't have any pending. For I work with 6 film festivals and there are no pending
Wow.
screenings now, finally. But yeah, when there were pending film screenings, then we were always updating them that it's not yet. We'll let you know. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I think film festivals, I tend to think they're quite niche events. They tend to run alongside something that's quite expensive, like auctions, or in my mind, I suppose it's because of cans. To be honest, in my mind, it seems like quite a unique and high ticket event. So does that mean that you tend to get sort of a better rate for it because of all the things that go alongside the event? Maybe it's more corporates, more large bodies that contact you, or is it the small person who's setting something up in their back garden over the summer or something?
Yeah, I haven't reached that. I don't know if I want to, but I haven't reached that market of film festivals alongside auctions, so I cannot speak about that. But the film festivals that I work with, they are more like the second option that you said there. The person who just loves film and wants to create a film festival for filmmakers and film lovers, and they just put a film festival together. It's more a bit further along, but it's more that idea, that core concept. The ones that I work with are mostly on small independent movie theaters. Is that how you say it in
Yeah.
Ireland?
Yeah.
And also in like pubs, bars that have a bigger room, and they host the screening in that bigger room. So it's more a feeling of just people getting together. The one of the people I work with, they say it's like watching a film in a big living room, and it's the feeling that you get. You have your beer or you have your popcorn, and you're watching an independent film you've never heard of before with the people from your neighborhood. It's more that feeling, so it's more independent, I guess, and it's
So
more.
amateur passion projects.
Um, well, when you are 6 years doing something, I don't know if you can still call yourself amateur, but
Well,
but
No, I
it's
mean the films, not you. The
oh, the
films.
films. Yeah, I wasn't meaning me either.
Yeah.
I was meaning the festivals, but the films, I'd say some of them yes, and some of them no. So there's a mix because anyone
Okay.
can submit the films, and from my experience from the festivals, for example, if it's the Courage Film Festival, the point is, does this story talk about courage? So for you to portray a story about courage, you don't have to have a big production. You can have a very strong story that is shown in a more amateur way, in a more low cost way. So that could win when compared to a big production that doesn't have such a strong story. So you end up with a range of selections from from films that are very high quality, very well produced, to films that are more like passion projects that are more you'd say amateur, that have a stronger message or have a stronger imagery, but it's not as high production as the others.
And how do people get in touch with the film festivals? Is it through you? Is it through the festival itself? Do they contact you? Say they're going to look up Courage Film Festival now, and they want to submit their story or their movie about it. Do they, like, are there official channels that they have to go through? Is it like, are there specific criteria they have to meet? What exactly goes into it all? And do you get to be part of the choosing panel of who gets to be shown on the day?
Oh, that would be cool. Could you do that as well?
I've done that for screenplays because I write creatively as well, so I'm kind of suited to be
Wow.
from the panel for screenplays, but not for film festivals, not for films, because I'm not a filmmaker and I have not studied that at all. But in terms of the submissions, mostly I work with a platform called Film Freeway, and it's a platform where filmmakers and screenwriters go to submit their films to a variety of film festivals, from those big film festivals that you were talking about to the small pub festival as well. So from there you can submit either for free or you have to pay depending on the festival. And you also have you can also do waivers for the filmmakers, so they can also submit for free, and sometimes through that platform, or they need to email you saying I cannot submit because in my country I cannot for some reason pay for it, or something is going on that you cannot submit. And if they email that information to the festival, they will sometimes open an exception for that person. The film festivals that I work with open a bunch of exceptions if needed, because the world is so vast and there are so many limitations for filmmakers trying to submit. So yeah, there are a variety of ways that people can submit. There are also similar platforms to Film Freeway, but country specific. For example, in China, they have different platforms, so you need to sometimes be in several platforms at the same time as well. So for me specifically, I am mostly on the solving problems on social media, with people messaging me saying I need to submit but I can't on Film Freeway, what do I do? And then I redirect them to the team on email, and then the team on email carries on with the submission.
God, it certainly sounds like you've got quite a delivery system there, and the way you collaborate and work with others. Now, I must ask: have you ever been a part of an independent film that we may have heard of, that's recognised or won awards, or somebody that we now know as a famous actor or actress that you were involved with maybe a couple of years ago?
No, I don't think you'd know. I've worked with selected films, for example, commercial from Boss, or we've selected independent films from Ireland as well. But if you are not in the
If you're not
independent
in the
film
area,
world,
then
I don't think you'd know them. Not yet,
No.
anyway. I've been working with most of my film festivals for 4 to 5 years now. So maybe in 5, 10 years you'll hear about these people, but not yet.
Oh,
wow. No, well, I mean, it's been absolutely fascinating to learn more about marketing for film festivals and what's included and what's involved. And I mean, the fact that you're working with 6 different ones, like that's just amazing. I really hope that you get to travel as well to all these different festivals and get to see them all. That would be amazing too. Is
and
there
talking of travel,
Oh,
yeah?
she's a roving
Oh yes, yes.
Honestly, the segue was there for you. You didn't
Sorry.
use it.
Oh, it's Monday morning. What do you expect? So digital nomad, yes. So you're currently joining us from Portugal, but with large ties to Ireland and other countries in Europe. From what it was, what you were saying earlier as well about the Berlin Film Festival, and so that's Germany covered, Ireland covered, Portugal covered. We were talking before recording, and you also speak Spanish, so that must be Spain covered too. I mean. Any country that you don't cover?
Well, mostly the film festivals I work with are in Germany and Spain, though I've worked with film festivals in Portugal and other countries as well. But yeah, I'm from Portugal and I'm currently on a trip around Europe and I'm just working along it, just digitally. But that's the way I've always worked because most of my clients are not in Ireland. And even those that are, I've never spoken with them in person. I've only spoken with them digitally. So it's just carrying out on the same way. The only difference is that now I really need to pay attention to internet connection because sometimes you are in Picos de Europa in Spain or whatever, and you really don't have good connection. Makes it very hard to record podcasts like this.
You're saying that Ireland has good internet connection.
Well, my house.
I'm sorry, I'm devastated by that comment.
we know the struggles. Okay, your house used to have, no, ours,
yes,
yeah.
But no, I can't really do much if your hotel in the middle of the mountain doesn't have internet connection. Makes it a bit tough.
Yeah.
I guess that's every digital nomad challenge.
Yeah. Well, if people were wanting to get in contact with you because, they want their independent film festival promoted or they want you to run their email campaigns or whatever for it, how would they get in touch with you?
I say the best way is to go to apmarketing.ie, and just check what I'm about, what I can offer them, see if it applies to them. And then if it does, you go to the next steps button and there's an area there for them to email or book a call with me. And then we can have a chat and see where we align. I'm always ready for a chat.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Yeah. You don't lose anything with a chat.
No.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Alexandra. And we hope that all the films can be viewed on time from now on and that there are no more delays in anything. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Oh, I better say bye too. Bye.
Yeah, you better.